From the studios of Foxboro Cable Access, located in the center of Foxboro, Massachusetts, you are watching Around Foxboro.
Welcome to another episode of Around Foxboro. My name is Julie Love. I'm your host. Today we have a very exciting guest from local here in Foxboro. It's Partners in Patriotism Fund, and his name is Mark Powers. Mark, thank you so much for coming here.
Oh, thank you for having me today, Jury. We're very excited to be here.
Absolutely, Mark. Would you please tell us your title at the PIP?
I am the Vice Chairman of the Grants Committee at the Partners in Patriotism.
Wonderful. So would you please tell us what is the Partners in Patriotism Fund?
The Partners in Patriotism Fund was a group set up by the Kraft family in 2014. Annually, we receive $100,000 to distribute to worthy individuals and organizations in the town of Foxboro that we believe will make a positive and permanent difference to the town of Foxboro. So far, the fund has donated over $500,000 to various individuals and groups in the town, and we keep on going. We're hoping to someday eclipse $1 million.
So Mark, how did you personally get involved with PIP?
We send out a newsletter is sent out by the Patriots organization quarterly.
Is this one?
This
different?
That's exactly.
Okay.
And when the first one went out, there was a story that the group at the stadium was looking for volunteers to step forward who would be interested in joining the grants committee. It seemed like a great time to get involved with the community and maybe make a difference in some people's lives and some organizations, give them a leg up so they could do good work in town.
And how long have you been involved?
I have been on since the inception of the committee, so I'm in my 6th year.
Wonderful. And then how are you liking it so far?
Oh, I love it. I look forward to the monthly meetings. I find it a challenge to go over the grants, hash out how much money, if in fact we're going to grant money, or listen to other people's views on the merits of the grant and make a decision.
So I know you are allocating the fund, but how does the PIP fund decide how funds are going?
Well, the grants committee is consisted of 13 individuals from the town of Foxboro. We're probably a representative cross sample of the town. There's some people, obviously my age, the senior set, and there's younger people, and there's people right in the middle. And we review each grant that comes in. And our options are to fully fund the grant, partially fund the grant, or not to fund the grant at all. And we have some lively discussions at our meetings surrounding, the merits of each grant that comes before us.
And then what's the application process like? So is this only for the town of Foxboro and organization in Foxboro?
Yes, it's only for Foxboro organizations and individuals.
So how can people apply?
There's an application that's online at gilletstadium.com/Partners in Patriotism, and they can download that application, and the instructions are on there. Give a brief description of why, what you're looking for, how much, and why you feel that grant should be approved. And then return to the stadium, and once a month we meet to make a determination.
So I received these newsletters and then look forward to reading and then seeing the pictures, and then I know that there is this page that you can.
That's the grant request. Each month, each edition of that Partners in Patriotism newsletter contains a grant application. So yes, you could cut that out and send it back.
Absolutely. Great. And then what are the different types of grant requests that you have been receiving?
Well, the grants fall into either community service, community organization grants, and those may be, for example, recently we gave the Foxboro hockey team a grant in order to purchase some more ice time, but in this day and age of ice rinks being shut down, I'm not sure whether they got a chance to spend that. We also donated some money to Carl Non Court to purchase some benches for the residents who live there to be able to go out and enjoy the fresh air and have a seat. Then we have personal assistance grants, and those are for people who may have had a sudden unexpected incident come up in their lives and they need a little help to get through that. We had a woman who worked at the CVS a few years ago and her car caught on fire. So we were able to assist her in purchasing a new car. There was another recently, a family in town who has a daughter who requires assistance getting in and out of a tub. And we purchased a track lift system for her bathroom so that the family, you know, as the daughter gets a little older, a little heavier, it will make a difference in the family's life, and it should assist the young girl.
That's really amazing. That's very remarkable. And I was involved with that story of the car, replacing the car was very, very touching. And then she really appreciated your funding too.
Well, that's nice to hear.
Absolutely.
One other thing that we do is we also provide up to 5 scholarships a year for students. You don't have to go to Foxborough High School, but you do need to be a Foxborough resident. And we fund up to $5,000 a scholarship for 5 individuals. The grants committee reviews all the applications that are received. That process starts up after the new year, and it will continue until about May when the grants are needed to be in, and we'll review those. So we've sent some students off and helped them in their first year of colleges.
That's wonderful. Scholarships are so crucial for this time of the era and then just so appreciated.
Oh, that's for sure. Everybody knows how expensive college is nowadays.
Yes, absolutely. And what are some of your favorite grant requests from your time on the grant committee?
Well, I think initially one of my favorite was one of the first we saw. That was for a mother who requested a laptop computer for a son who had autism. He was receiving some help in the Foxboro school system, but when he came home, he didn't have a computer to continue with that. So we purchased a laptop for him and contacted the school system to see what kind of software would be beneficial. And then we also purchased and had the software loaded up and donated that to the family. Just a great feeling that you're providing something that's really necessary. We've had 2 instances where we've assisted families where family members suffered a traumatic injury and their houses needed alterations now that individuals would either be in a wheelchair or having a hard time getting around in houses that were not accessible. So we assisted people in being able to retrofit their houses, and now they were accessible to the individuals living there.
And do you invite these grant recipients to certain events, or you don't meet the recipients?
A lot of times we go out with our what I call the golf tournament check. It's a very large check that we write the amount on, and we take a picture for purposes of going in the paper or the newsletter, and we'll present that. Usually that's to groups, not so much to individuals. But no, we don't have any kind of get-together for the individuals.
Maybe that'll be a nice event for the recipients.
Maybe after COVID, sure.
After COVID, yes, absolutely. But so you said 13 members in the committee. So they are all from Foxboro or a different town too?
All from Foxboro.
Residents?
Yes, and it's a rotating schedule that you're assigned to the committee on. So there's turnover, and people are constantly being replaced each year. So we hope to get, a wide variety of opinions, and it's also knowledge. Sometimes a grant comes in and somebody will know a little bit about it that isn't obvious in the grant application itself. So people are able to contribute a little more insight.
So are you looking for new members?
We're always looking for new members. Each year there'll be a number of people who will be turned over. And the process for that would be to use the same Gillette Stadium /Partners in Patriotism and contact the stadium to let them know you're interested in serving on it.
Wonderful. Do you have any Facebook page or Instagram page to learn more about it, or just the website?
You know, Jerry, Facebook and Instagram are out of my skill set, so I can't tell you whether or not there is.
That's okay. Yes, but people can learn from the website that you mentioned.
Yes.
And then obviously when you're living in Foxboro, we always receive these newsletters that you can find more about the program.
Yes.
Yes, wonderful. Well, thank you very much for coming here to talk about Partners in Patriotism Fund. I've always wanted to learn more about the fund, and I've met some recipients, and I think this is such a privileged town to have such a grant to assist any needs, either for the organizations or the individuals.
Yeah, I think the Kraft family deserves a large round of applause. They do so much for this community that a lot of times people don't get to see. And maybe this brings a little bit of visibility, but they certainly are stepping up and helping a lot of people.
Wonderful. I think because of this generosity, our community has improved or gotten better, and I've seen it firsthand, and I really appreciate you helping other people and then helping our community in the time of our needs and improving our relationship with PIP and people in the community.
Thank you very much, Jerry.
Absolutely. Thank you everyone for watching another episode of Around Foxborough. My name is Julie Love. Our executive director is Michael Weber. Our director is Paul Beck. If you had missed another episode of Around Foxborough, you can go to fcatv.org and then click on Video on Demand and then click on Around Foxborough. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much, everyone.